Coming up here on RBC 1, it's Top Gear starts now.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Clarkson and I am the host of the Top Gear. This is the first episode of Top Gear here on RBC in the Republic States, and I will be giving you the best entertainment every Thursday, the fun and also slopes. Oh, I can't say that word. Anyways, forget about that. We also be inviting people to appear on my show, our weekly show on Thursdays, as our guest here on these couple of weeks. So, let me introduce you the first guest on episode 1. This man is familiar to cars and also races them. He is a professional F1 driver, and he is from my home country, the UK. Let me give to you, and recently won the German Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Please welcome Lewis Hamilton. Welcome to episode 1 of Top Gear, Lewis Hamilton. At the end of this show, you'll be driving around the whole Top Gear track by the end of this interview here today. But I want to talk to you first of all about you itself. We all know that you are a great F1 driver, has won so many Grand Prix in your lifetime, and you've won lots of medals and lots of trophies through the years in Formula 1. How do you do it? How do I do it? It's hard work, man. It's hard work. You know, it all pays off at the end of the day. It's like, you know, my motto since I was little at the age of 10 is to be successful, work hard, listen to your peers, listen to your parents, listen to your friends as well. And I've been doing that since at the age of 10 and wonder why I'm sitting here today as the best F1 driver of all time. Absolutely. We all know that you've got a lot of history under your belt in the F1. Of course, you've won a lot of Grand Prix as you won in your career. You've won a lot of things you've won through your career, of course. But your first Grand Prix was way back in 2007 in the Australian Grand Prix. What was your thoughts about you being in the Australian Grand Prix in 2007? And how's your feeling from 2007 making your debut in the F1 to be the most successful 7-time champion of Formula 1? Nervous I was, you know, a lot of those things when I was started my career off in 2007. But, you know, you just got to take the opportunity comes. You know, I did the best I can, you know, in my early days of doing go-karting and practicing around the whole tracks around in the UK. And I did very, very well at that, and wonder why I got a scholarship to be part of the Formula 1, did very, very well for the McLaren team, did very, very well with Vodafone as well, and won lots of races and 7 championships I won. And it's all about, you know, it's emotional really to look back at it. But in my career, in 2007, did very, very well to become a 7-time champ of Grand Prix, you know, winning some few Grand Prix recently this season is fantastic. And it's good to have that courage to be the best, and I want to be the best, and it will never change. What's your thoughts on the Republican driver Kevin Nicholson? This is Kevin Nicholson's first ever time he appeared in the F1. He's obviously a driver who rented a car team. And what's your thoughts about him as he's a Republican driver, as we're hosting Top Gear here in the RSV? Anyways, well, I think Kevin Nicholson's a very good guy, got a very good work ethic, and I hope Kevin Nicholson, who actually be the future of the F1, you know, it's his first season to be a professional driver at this elite level, and I know that I gave him a lot of tips and advice to try and be successful, try to have an ambition to be the best driver like I was when I first joined this professional elite level of F1 when I was 22 years of age in 2007. So it's not really easy, the transition from being an amateur driver to go into the elite level of driving. And it's very, very difficult in a way. And I know that I can relate to him the most, and even the Republican people definitely watching this here on RBC today, they definitely want to see how he goes, because he's a good driver in a way. And I hope that even now he might not have done as great. Maybe he might finish last in a couple of races. He might finish 10th or 4th in a couple of races in the 2020 and 21's F1 season so far. But if he can adapt himself in this level, then maybe he might push up to that top 3 finishes maybe by the end of the F1 Grand Prix in the future. And we all know you got the F1 Belgian Grand Prix taking place on the weekend, this weekend coming up, of course. What's your thoughts going into that race, and do you believe that your task is to go and win the whole Belgian race? Absolutely, no shadow of a doubt. I think I should win, of course. You know, the Belgian Grand Prix, it's a good Grand Prix. I've been there quite a few times as a driver at the F1. We all know that on the weekend I'm going to try everything I can to finish first by the end of the race. I know that Nico Rosberg's the driver's won the most races in this Grand Prix, the whole Grand Prix this season so far. So I've got to really make sure that I can try and defeat him as well on Sunday, and also defeat Sebastian Vettel, and also defeat Alonso, because those drivers are the biggest threats against me as well in this race. So I know it'd be a challenge, because Nico Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel, and also myself are the most likeliest drivers to probably win the whole Grand Prix. But I just got to try and find a way to win the race, and it's just to see how they do as well in the race. If they might punch their tyre, or if their car got broken, or they're getting knocked into the curb, or not even continuing able to drive, perhaps, then that could really be an advantage for me to perhaps win the whole Grand Prix. So I do believe that I'll be in the top 3 by Belgian Grand Prix on Sunday. I do believe that I'll be at that level still. But just have to wish me luck, and I might see what I can do in that race on Sunday in the Belgian Grand Prix. Before we end Top Gear here today on episode 1 with our guest here today, Lewis Hamilton, let's show you guys how Lewis Hamilton did on our track earlier today. let me announce to you what you had by the whole track lap you had earlier today in our Top Gear track. Your speed was, by the end of the 7th lap, was 246.362 kilometers per hour. I doubt now that no one's not going to beat your score speed record on Top Gear, Mr. Hamilton. Absolutely not. And also the best of luck in the Belgian Grand Prix on Saturday and Sunday. The best of luck, and hopefully you win the Grand Prix. Thank you very much, Jeremy Clarkson. It's a pleasure for having me on your show today. Absolutely. And that's going to be that for Top Gear here today. And we'll see you guys for episode 2 next time. Cheerio!